at Isaiah Bond. What a difference maker he is.
Welcome into another edition of 89 with Steve Smith Sr. James Palmer here with you. We'll break down all of these wide receivers coming out in the 2025 draft. Make sure you look all over this channel. They're coming out consistently, Steve. And we're doing another Texas wide receiver in Isaiah Bond. I think since he's been 6 years old, every football field he's walked onto, he's been the fastest player on the field.
Say it ain't so, bro.
That has been his life since Pee Wee football. And he is now trying to take that explosiveness and that skill set to the NFL. 5'11", 180 pounds, ran a 4.39 at the Combine. If you remember, he did declare that he was going to break the 40 record at the Combine. He did not. His teammate Matthew Golden actually did come much closer with a 4.29. Started out at Alabama, Steve, and then transfers for his last year over to Texas.
Which has happened an awful lot.
It's the thing. He says it's because Nick Saban hung it up and he wanted to go somewhere else, but guys can leave for whatever reason they want now. It doesn't really matter. You don't even need one. But most draft boards asking around the league kind of have Bond as a day 2 pick, possibly a day 3 pick.
Really?
We'll see.
Hey, you heard in the comments that James said that Isaiah Bond is a day 2, possible day 3. I did not.
Isaiah Bond, Steve, what jumps out at you first?
Definitely, he's definitely a speed guy. Jitterbug. He's a guy that can get in and out of breaks. But obviously, we talked about with Matthew Golden in the beginning of the season. Isaiah Bond was the go-to guy. He was the guy that they were giving a lot of high volume to, isolating him, giving him the opportunity to display his athleticism. And I think for the most part, he did a pretty good job of it. Mm-hmm. But I kind of think that there were some things in his game that he was lacking, and it started to get exposed a little bit as they started to play better and better competition. His targets seemed to go down more and more, and that's not a slight to him. I believe it just shows that Matthew Golden was just maybe a step above or just had a little bit more growth than Isaiah Bond, but I don't think he's gonna. I can't say that Bond has peaked. You never want to say that, but just doesn't have a lot of field awareness, man. He just seemed to get blown up a lot. Just never really seemed to know how to protect himself. I noticed that, which was a little bit of a red flag for me.
What I'm curious about is with the rule change, Steve, on the kickoff that just occurred, and they are making it a greater penalty if you put the ball into the end zone for the kicking team. It goes out to the 35 in 2025, not the 30 now. So they want more returns. Does his explosiveness and ability to possibly return make him or other players with speed more marketable or coveted in this draft because special teams and the importance of it with the way that they're trying to create more returns? Because that explosiveness is wanted in every aspect of NFL football, specifically with the way the defenses are playing these days. And that too high shell, the ability to take a ball and go to the distance is what every team is looking for in some capacity. We'll see. But this was a comp, and I'm kind of curious about it. A mini version of Jameson Williams. Crazy juice, not a full route tree, posts, overs, reverses, all that type of stuff. Is that an interesting comp for you?
Yeah, you see me, I'm pondering.
Yeah, like, ponder it. Ponder up.
I don't think that's
No?
No.
If somebody else got a comp, throw it in there. But
well, the reason why is J-Mo, I think, is really taking a step forward.
Big time.
And he was more, I think J-Mo's more raw. I do think Bond has a little bit of savviness to him. I think what you're seeing route-wise is probably maybe the best he's gonna run routes. He may improve, but J-Mo hasn't even scratched the surface, in my opinion.
Interesting.
This is a guy who was dynamic in college, but really just relying on his athleticism instead of the technical aspect of his game. I do think Isaiah Bond is technically savvy. I don't think that his athleticism, he's overly athletic with very little technique. I think he's a really good athlete with a really good technique.
Maybe the comp was in terms of usage, but I
don't know.
But no, you don't see it.
Yeah,
that's why we go through the process. Before we get into the film, how do you see him? Because this is one of the things that in my conversations kept coming up was, how do you use him?
So that makes me go to, what you had talked about as far as his usage on special teams. Well, that also means that he needs to be a willing participant to hit the burners on kickoff. Because man,
Well, you know who love playing special teams?
hey, they be taking some souls on their special teams now.
Mm-hmm.
You can run down. You can run down there with your head cut off if you want to.
Just because it's statistically safer doesn't mean you're still not getting.
They
hit.
still hitting.
Doesn't mean you're still not hitting out there.
Yeah. Hey, them boys.
Yeah.
They ain't tiptoeing. They ain't tiptoeing.
Okay, let's get into it.
Here we go, yo.
This episode of 89 is brought to you by BetterHelp. You know, in football, you have a support system, right? Whether it's your coaches, your trainers, or your teammates to help you kind of succeed. But what about you? What about off the field and making yourself the best version of yourself? Well, BetterHelp can help you do that. I know oftentimes we're playing hero ball, right? We're going at it all by ourselves. We got to do it alone. But when you talk to a therapist, you have an opportunity to alleviate that. And we're not just talking about major trauma. We're talking about coping with a variety of things, whether it's relationship issues, just overall stress, just creating the best environment for you to be the best version of yourself. And BetterHelp can help you do that. Now, the best thing about it is BetterHelp is 100% online, so it is both affordable and convenient. With over 5 million people participating worldwide, well, you know you're in good hands. So, build your support system with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/89 and get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/89.
All righty. Against Michigan, good release. I just need a higher angle though. Down at the bottom. Choo-choo. Goes up. I need a higher angle that the quarterback, he flattens it. Ball's thrown in between, which ends up being an incomplete pass. So, I love the way he gets from A to B without any issues. Choo-choo. Ooh.
Yeah.
Look at the happy feet, too. Look at his feet. Yeah, stay still, bro.
He had a lot of injuries this year, Steve.
Don't nobody care about all that. You don't get paid $5 billion. You better throw the football. That's your only job. Just explosive with the ball in his hands. Like, just makes guys miss. Ah!
Oh, man.
This is why I call defensive players idiots. Watch this guy. Takes his own man out. Defensive players.
Defensive player.
He's explosive with the ball in his hands. He just does a great job. Look at this. He doesn't really avoid as much contact as people would assume. Okay, he puts his foot in the ground.
Boop.
It's pretty good.
I'm seeing him used in a lot of the ways that I described. Just saying.
Doesn't avoid a lot of contact, which is pretty impressive. Boom. Look at this. Ooh.
Yeah, you're not going out of bounds there.
Yeah. 2-2. Look at how much, look at all the room that the corner has. 5, 10, that's plus, he has plus 10. And runs, boop, comes back down and finishes the guy. Look at this corner, scared. I'm scary, so.
Turn quick.
Yep.
Turn the hips quick.
Look at him, he closed his eyes too. I see you, Archie. All right. This is old school. I like this. Old school.
Okay.
Cadillac turn.
Mm-hmm.
That looked familiar, didn't it?
Did.
Pretty darn good. All right, last one. All right, I'm pretty impressed with this one. Zone coverage, understanding what you need to do. Really good catch. Watch this. Look at that. Down there. Quarterback's looking his eyes that way, so that continues to get the flow of the rotation of the linebacker. And he just floats. Smart. Floats, and then comes back. He's going right there. Eyes are scanning right here. Comes back, settles in right there. See? That is a very hard, difficult catch. Body weight is that way. Ball is coming this way. And how he knows the ball is coming is this ball is starting to flutter a little bit. So when it flutters, that tells you that the ball is losing its trajectory. And so you have to shift your body to be able to catch it. Even though it looks like it's going that way, watch what it does. Look, eventually, what does it do? It goes exactly where I said.
Wow, good drawing.
What'd you say?
Tremendous drawing. Went exactly between the lines. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Now, I know some people going to be in the comments talking about that's not where it went, Steve. Yes, it is. Stop being a hater.
I did see on a couple of those, and I'm kind of curious what your take is. This was brought up to me by a couple of people, and tell me if this is true, accurate, can be coached, could be changed. First off, does not have very big hands. That can't change.
Oh, that's genetics.
Yeah,
sorry.
That can't change.
You can't be coached.
But he prefers to catch it in tight. Does he have a big catch radius? I guess in essence. And it seems like he likes to catch balls in here. I don't know. God, I hope next year they put me with a grown-up.
I love how you said it.
He likes to catch balls in here.
And you knew what you said was wrong, and yet not the grown-up.
I kept moving forward. The show must go on. So I was like, catching footballs at this general vicinity here.
Well,
is he a hand catcher? Is he got a bigger radius?
I mean, he's 5'11". I don't have his updated wingspan. Catching the football is based on comfortability of the receiver. It's not based on lack thereof a wingspan. Just like there are taller guys who have a obviously natural good wingspan, but if they body catch the ball, then what does that mean?
Wasted wingspan is what that means.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody uses their God-given talents differently. Some of it is good, and some of it causes bad habits. He's a good player, and he's going to help your team. But when you have to weigh the options, him or Golden, I go with Golden. But you don't go wrong with 007. That's his nickname.
Yeah, that's a pretty sick nickname. I'm not gonna lie at all. And like we mentioned in the beginning, searching for explosives is something the league's doing. We saw it with a couple of speedsters that were paid big time for 1-year deals, probably overpaid for 1-year deals, whether it's Hollywood Brown or Tutu Atwell or whoever it is. Just teams are desperate for explosiveness downfield. Yeah. The thing that I find crazy, Steve, he only had one game with over 100 yards in his career.
Say it ain't so, bro.
Alabama and Texas. I find it wild. I'm saying with the explosiveness, I find it wild. But it's gonna be interesting to see that speed out of the field. I think he hit 24 miles per hour this year.
Ooh, that's fire. That real fire. That boy rolls. And since we're talking about a Dallas guy, let's give a shout out to the Greener Pastures Chicken, to Von Miller.
Love me some Von.
Hey, appreciate the hat, bro. What was the chicken name? Are we still wondering is a lie?
D-Ware, DeMarcus Ware. He had a chicken named D-Ware.
Yeah. Oh, did it have a, was it fur? Did it have a...
I'm just picturing D-Ware as a chicken. Like, smooth head.
What you trying to say?
What?
You can't be ragging on my fellow Ballski.
I'm not. D-Ware's one of my favorite players ever, man.
Yeah. Oh, okay.